r/sex workers. Valentinax77 says, I feel bad for dudeand, seeing these kind of posts pisses me off. He claims to make 500k/year and that's just bullshit, because anyone that makes that kind of money isn't on Reddit complaining about how clients buy us gifts. I think men that like to talk so bad about us, calling us popular girl, are in a sense dangerous and would never want to be around a client like that. You can call me whatever you want after our session, I guess, but you're going to respect me while I'm there. Some providers even agree with the term popular girl, but I don't. I feel like it has a negative connotation to it. Why can't we just be called providers? Anyways, that whole thread of his replies is just so negative. Like, if you hate us so much, why do you see us and pay us any attention? Low-life sack of shit. Leave it to the grown men that can afford to pay for our services and want to treat us to nice things because they enjoyed our company. Included photo. WalrusFit9574 says, when I see them calling any sex workers popular girl, it shows already what type of people they are. Completely losers that has no chance with women. Void00 says, wouldn't a guy making 500k a year happily be hiring high-end providers no problem? Freds_bread says, there are some very hostile guys over there. This corner of the world is like so many others, a collection of very different groups that see things differently, are looking for different things, and can't accept that some people don't have the same value system as they do. It shows up most often in the guys who spend more than $100 are ruining the business for the rest of us, or anything over 30 minutes is a waste. Those who worry about other guys giving gifts are just like $100 guy. And Solariskin says, I think the 12-pack dude has it basically right. I'm not rich enough to do this, but if I were stupidly rich, I'd give people random stuff all the time. I'd go to some diner or whatever and tip $100 just because I could. No other reason than, hey, I appreciate what you did and I like the idea that I made someone's day. Acrobatic_Ostilot4978 says, someone mentioned how they were talking about why they aren't seeing us anymore. I can't find the post over here, but I went over and looked and there's a guy that frequently posts over here in SexWorkers and goes back there and talks out both sides of his mouth. I want to out him so bad. Rami0507 says, some dudes get really jealous and angry about the fact that women are able to capitalize and make money off their sexuality, lol. His username makes me assume that he's an Andrew Tate follower, so that tells me everything I need to know. A Turfishans Horror says, you just know he posted this to rile up providers cause he's poor and hates his life, lol. He wishes he had something to offer worth anything to anyone. Poor bastard. Zolexxi_an_zo says, I was done after the first popular girl an obvious insulimo. OK Refrigerator 5481 says, I saw this post too and thought this dude is the biggest incel. I don't feel sorry for him, I feel sorry for the poor girls that have to put up with this scum. Lilipu2 says, guys who insist on calling us popular girl as if to put us in our place are absolute manga 1A players. They're limp dick jealous conch who wish they had that purported $500k to throw around like they could own us. They have absolute zero ability to own us, control us, or even get under our skins. And they know it. That's why they insist on not only calling us popular girl but also calling our good clients and great tippers simps. It's their best form of copium, popular girl shaming us and simp shaming our favorite regulars. Their loud shouts of popular girl and simps just shows how impotent they really are and how they fear themselves to be. r/sex workers. Direshan Marine 5773 says. Speculation and observation on why sex workers industry slowed down 2023. We'll say this. These are the reason why it's slow. 1. Lots of girls from Asia, Europe and Latin America are coming here to work due to their own economy in their countries. $50 to $100 to them is like $300 in their head. They do what locals do for the bare minimum, so now men want all sex workers to do the same. Please, I'm not discriminating or blaming, it's a matter of fact. Times are hard. 2. The economy sucks in the user at the moment. Men do not want to spend, they prefer to save or prefer to spend 50 to 100. 3. It seems like most sex workers now offering bare and dad or Greek. If you don't offer that, they won't come. Again, they rather go to someone for less money who does all that. 4. All the good websites are getting shut down. Or the owners take money and disappear. As soon as one starts popping, it's gone. There are too many websites to advertise on. Back in the day, it was just Backpage, and it was a central location. Full meant to go to. The moment that was gone, now they were like 5 to 10 websites, and think about the amount of people that will go on the website. Everything is spread out. No central location for ads. 5. Girls are not screening, so these time wasters think it's dumb to want to screen them. The same girls charging the cheap prices. Just accept anyone without even calling. So when they contact a sober professional sex workers and we request screening information, they ghost. 6. So many girls in the user are now getting into Southwestern. The market is oversaturated. Before in was like 10 to 15 per city. Now it's 50 to 100 per city. This is just my own opinion on things. I tour a lot. I will tell you now, it's mostly my regulars that keep me afloat. I sometimes get lucky and get a new clients and make good money in one day. But most days. WalrusFit 9574 says. We all know user is going through recession. That is the main reason why. Teladine_Black_ says. Yep, especially Bear, Greek and Dat. Chariskism says. But I thought girls from Latin America, Eastern Europe and Asia been coming here for decades. Even when they were here, I usually still make money. Also, I seen many girls from those countries charge just as much as girls from the US. It could be oversaturation, but I live in a city where there isn't much new girls coming to it, so I would assume each city and region has different way of how this business works, and girls in the city/region has to adapt to those environments. I feel like people living in big cities in Southern California or Nick are not going to lose much business because there is more people and rich guys, but working girls living in the Midwest is going to have a little struggle because there isn't many rich guys living in a city like Louisville. Will the Pinkarook says. Outside of the downward economy, specifically focusing on tech, I'd say the explosion of social parasitic relationships with of and other online communities is likely the next biggest reason. It allows for a cheaper, easier to access form of social interaction to meet some of the emotional needs. Now you're in competition with IG models, cosplayers, and other softer forms of sex work. Stix Farmer says. For me, it is the lack on sites to find sex workers. Yes, I know back in the CL days there was lots of shit going on that needed to be stopped, but today reminds me of being back in the 90s before the internet was going strong. Seems too many sites have gone to shit. Smakingan21 says. I blame the mind virus. DRV 52908 says. Foster/sisters trickle down effect has been a big one. The most recent bullshit with the credit card companies refusing to process payments from the adult entertainment industry is all stemming from this anti-trafficking narrative they are spinning. The _T0P_G says. Those are all good reasons. However, I think the number one reason is that the sex worker market has become saturated. The reason I think so is I believe the sex worker supply has probably grown 3 or 4 times since 2019. It's simple math. Men are always horny even in bad economic times. If there are active 5,000 clients who hobby at least once a month in a city of 1 million people and there are 50 providers, that's 100 clients per provider per year, which comes to about 10 a month roughly. We know in reality 80% of business goes to the top 20% of ladies, but let's just assume for the sake of simplicity. If you double the sex worker supply from 50 to 100, the number of clients per provider sharply drops to 50 per year and 5 per month, which means the average provider will make half. This will also affect high-end providers eventually, because when the stress on low-end market reaches a certain point, low-end ladies start lowering rates and offering riskier services in terms such as BBFS, BBBJ and no deposit that high-end providers simply don't offer, which in turn puts That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.